Hello, my name is Kevin Barquist with the Insurance Alliance. I'm here to give you a high level overview on small business insurance basics. Insurance is a really complex topic, and I could be here for hours giving you all the ins and outs and scenarios because insurance isn't just black and white. There's a lot of gray area, and that's really where most businesses fall, is in the gray area. To get a little bit more information than what we've got in this presentation here, you can also check out my chapter in the most common tax mistakes made by small businesses, which was co-authored by Lily Tran and nine other professionals. Here are the most common commercial insurance policy types. So this is not all of them, and there are other components that can be added or taken away from some of these, but this will give you an idea of what the most common type of policies that exist today. So the first is general liability. Second is a business owner's policy, which is a compilation of a bunch of different policies put together under one policy, so everything's in one spot for you. Business personal property, professional liability, commercial auto, which is very self-explanatory, commercial property, bonds, and cyber liability. Cyber liability is a huge topic that I could talk for a few hours just on this piece alone, because there are so many ins and outs of the type of cyber crimes that are happening today and how to best protect your business. I'm not going to go into more detail than that today, but for more information, you can definitely reach out and we can have that conversation. General liability is most known as a slip fall coverage. Someone comes in, floor is wet, they slip, they fall, they hurt themselves, do some bodily injury to themselves. A little bit less common is damage to property, and even less common yet is damage by slander, libel, copyright infringement, and other things that could occur through your day-to-day business, either intentionally or at no intention of your own. Business owner's policy is what I want to spend the bulk of our time on today. We don't have a ton, so I'm going to jump right into it. Commercial general liability insurance is what we had just talked about, the slip fall type coverage. Property damage. So there's a lot of versions of property damage, but this is really intended to be if you have someone's physical item and you do some sort of damage to it, that's what this is really designed for. Building coverage. This is also available on its own type of policy, but this would be something that we'll discuss a little bit further later, so we can talk about the other components here. Loss of business income is a huge part of this. Let's say that you can't physically be in your space for some reason due to a covered loss. Something happens to your building. If you're in like a strip mall or a building with other tenants, one of them catches on fire, they have a water loss that comes into your location. You have business income to prevent you from being financially unsound as a result of that loss. Business personal property. This here covers exactly that, your business personal property. So anything that the business owns that's in your location, including a build out if you're in a lease space and you paid for the build out. Because you want to be able to have yourself made whole should there be a covered loss. Car drives in the building and they don't have insurance, burns down, some sort of fire, water loss, any other types of losses that would be covered by your policy. You want to make sure that all of your goods are covered. Boiler and machinery. Really, this is heating and other machinery that would be in your office that could be damaged. Now, this isn't something that is maintenance related. This is something that, hey, something seriously went wrong here. We got to get this figured out and see what the reason for the loss is and whether it makes sense to use your insurance. Employee dishonesty is exactly what it sounds like. An employee stealing from you or defrauding you in some way, shape, or form financially. This is going to cover you for that. EPLI, Employment Practices Liability Insurance. This is a huge coverage. You want to make sure that you're doing the right things always when you're hiring people. You don't want to ask the wrong questions. When you do hire someone and they're on the job, you want to make sure you're treating them right. All those things. You could have every great intent of doing all the right things. and still have someone come after you for this. So it's really, really important to have this type of coverage on your policy. Crime is exactly what it sounds like. Some form of theft or defrauding of your company. Hired and unknown auto liability is you and your staff, driving their vehicles or a rented vehicle during the course of business. This is what that coverage is designed to cover you for. Professional liability is E&O. Most people that are watching this have probably a fairly decent understanding of this. It covers you and your staff's mistakes that lead to financial loss, uh, unintentional or intentional negligence, misrepresentation of information, inaccurate advice, copyright infringement, and it covers the defense costs. So make sure that you have the right policy, because it isn't just, oh, oops, I made a mistake. Here's some money to fix it. Defense costs often take up the bulk of your expense here. Commercial building, this coverage is really important for you and your potential clients that own businesses, whether it's a habitational, a condo, apartment, professional office, retail spaces, restaurants, skyscrapers, or warehouses. Um, all of these buildings need to be covered. They need to be covered correctly. Um, People sometimes think that, hey, the cheapest is fine, I'm never going to need it. That's where they're wrong. It's really important for them to have a conversation with an insurance advisor to make sure that they have the right coverages for their needs. Not every business is the same, and as I've mentioned many times, insurance is a very gray area, and most businesses, including commercial buildings, fall into that gray area because it depends on how they're used, the type of tenants, if they're leasing it out, and so on. So again, I am Kevin Barquist with Insurance Alliance. I want to thank you for your time today. If you have any questions, here's my contact information. Please do let me know what it is I can do to help you and or your clients. Thank you again, and have a great day.